Aw. No thanks. It was homemade lemonade from Mission Barbecue, which was actually really damn good. I'm really sad it's gone. Damn. My bachelor's or my master's? I think that might be the cat snoring. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what that noise was. My bachelor's is in global history, which means I'm a Western European historian because you study like a specific area of the world's history. So my degree is in Western European studies. My minors are Western European studies, peace and justice studies, public policy, criminal justice, and French. And my secondary area of study was African history. My master's is in library and information sciences with specialization in archival administration and management, particularly pertaining to preservation and conservation of materials. Sorry. Okay. In my mouth. There we go. So, what did I want to do? Actually, when I originally started college, I was pre-law, and I was going to be a lawyer. And then I decided to not do that. Well, shit. Sorry, my potted plants just fell over outside because of the wind. They're gonna stay there. So I was gonna be a lawyer, and then I decided I didn't want to be a lawyer. And then I decided I liked history. And then in my history classes, I took a class called History of the Book, which is legitimately exactly what it sounds like. You know, the history of books. And then, you know, I met librarians through that, and I was like, fuck, this is a really neat area of study. And they were like, yup. Then I was like, can I job shadow you? And they're like, instead, you wanna be our intern? And I was like, fuck yeah, I wanna be your intern. So then I was their intern for like 6 months, and it was great. Loved every minute of it, and I was like, hey, I want to do what you do. How do I do that? And they were like, you go to grad school. And I was like, I had never considered that before, but okay. What's more school? And so then I did that, and I was like, will you help me get into grad school? And they were like, sure. So they wrote me a letter of rec. I got into grad school, and they were like, hey, you got to keep a GPA above this point average, and good luck. And I did that, and it took me 2 years of going to school straight, and I finished my master's. So, been a librarian ever since. I mean, my undergraduate degree was 4 years. My master's degree technically should have been 3 to 4 years, but I decided to go ahead and speed right through it, so I did it in 2 without stopping. Do I regret that? Every fucking day. Because that was a lot of stress to cram into 2 years, with a global pandemic occurring at the exact same time. Don't advise doing that, even if you don't have a global pandemic occurring at the same time. It was just not a good... No. Don't do that. I almost burnt out, like, 8 times. It was like solid once a semester where I was like, I'm so done with this shit. Because it was very stressful. And then I finished it. And now I'm considering going back to school. So, yay. I was surprised that I finished with a GPA that I did because I was highly concerned about the fact that there were a couple classes that I just did not do great in, so. Oh, no, I'm not, like, I have to go back and do, like, some certification stuff. Continuing education, we have to every so often to continue being a librarian, and I have to get certified, and so I have to go back and certify. So, because I'm running out of time on my certification. Yep. So, gotta go back and do that. I think next year. Well, like, end of this school year. It depends on the level that you're certified at. In 2 years, I'll be a level 1 librarian when I certify, so then I won't have to ever recertify. It's like a permanent certification. Permanent professional certification. Currently, I am not permanently professionally certified. Have a temporary professional certification. It's very confusing, and it varies state by state. So, and it doesn't take that long. It's not bad. It's just I gotta make sure I have all my current literature down pat. Being a certified librarian, being a librarian is complicated. People don't really think about it. They look down on the profession a lot, which sucks because it's not a profession you should look down on, and I don't just say that because it's mine. I say it because I admire my colleagues unbelievably, like so unbelievably much. You got to be able to code, catalog. You have to know the chemical composition and processes of paper breakdown, of leather breakdown, of vellum breakdown, and how to stop it, or at least halt it for a little bit, or slow it down if you can. You gotta know humidity levels, proper acidity levels of things, temperature control, proper handling of different things, why certain things break down faster than others because of fiber content sometimes. And this is specific to my job. So I also have to answer reference questions, so I have to know, somebody calls me and says, man, I need to find my great-great-great-grandfather. I have to know where to look. And 9 times out of 10, actually I'm going to say 7 times out of 10, I'm able to locate that person. I have to know how and where to find all of the information that anybody could ever need, and if I can't, know where to refer them to. Which doesn't sound complicated, but sometimes people have really fucking complicated questions. It's like a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I had this one guy who wanted to know salvage rights on ships from the War of 1812 in like 1890s. Like how you purchase salvage rights to a shipwreck from the War of 1812, but they purchasing it in 1890, not now. That one still haunts me because I was not able to figure that out. That was a hard question. I don't like the puzzles that I can't solve. So, sometimes they're just, a lot of homes just don't have history, which is really disappointing to people. They really hate that because they're like, well, obviously somebody had to have lived here. Yup. And there's probably just not record of it, unfortunately. Because when people do their genealogy and their home historical, shit, they want to know, oh my God, what was my great-great-great-grandfather like? Like, what was his hobbies? What did he do in his free time? Generally, you're not going to find that shit. You're going to find vital records, which are birth, death, and marriage, and divorce, technically, depending on what time period you're considered, or you're looking at. You might be able to find church records for those marriages, births, and deaths, so you might be able to know, like, what denomination they were, and what church they attended. You might find a newspaper article here and there if they did something noteworthy, and that's about all you're going to find other than an address. That's it. You're not really going to find much most of the time. So a lot of people get really disappointed. It's not like we have everybody's everything all of the time. We don't. We have the important shit that the city and the government needed. And that's about it. Unless they were part of a noteworthy club that, like, happened to give us their stuff. But it's all I've got to give you. And people get really mad sometimes, and I'm like, dude, I can't help you. Weird. It feels colder in here, but it says my heat's on. So people wonder why I'm so tired when I come home from work. Oh,